Okay, so welcome in our today's class, and let me, without wasting time, let me just establish the notebook. We already developed our notebook previously, so let me just establish it here. So we had a class, so we had the code. Collab book, and we named it as the AI project. So let me access it. Okay, I don't know where it is. Let me just search it from here. It's only that I can't remember where I stored it the last time, but I can still you can still retrieve it from here. Okay, I checked your assignments and they were fine. So in case you have not updated your, you can see it is here. I think I uploaded in our project. Mm, I was saying that I checked your assignment, but if you know that you didn't submit, you can just submit even now. That form is still valid. So our project was called the Handybuggy game. Okay, let me enlarge for you these guys. So let me have it like this. Let me okay. Let me test myself from the back end, previous end, the Modibu. Mhm. Okay, it's fine. So we have like now if this is our interface, now we need to understand some of the terms here. Like I told you guys that what we were doing previously, don't forget it out because it will really help us as we will be developing our project. So I will require you guys that whatever we have learned, you need to take it very seriously because we are going is going to bore a lot from where we head. Okay, fine. Now there was I drew for you something like how our game will look like. Like just for the reminder, there is let me have a column like that. So if I'm having a column, let me have a row. So I have a row in that form. So this one tells us this is how our game will look like. So let's take a case that I have 0 here, I have x here. Let me have 0 there, I have x, I have again 0, I have again 0. Let me say I have x, and here I have 0 here, I have x, and I have 0, I have x. So in this situation is like two people are playing. So this is how our game will look like. So in later as we will continue explanation, I will explain for you guys how can we determine that a person have have won or have lost the game or the game have been draw. So let me just define for something like I'm going to have a function, and this function is going to return for us a certain value. Now let me use let me define. So I'm using something called defining a function. So it's like I want to create a function. This function, you will see what is going to store, and if I call it, what does it going to do. Now I'm defining my main function. So define the main function. So I have the main, so this one is my main function. Then I have what in bracket there. So I've initialized the main function, and you can see there is indentation here. there's this gap which is left here, and it's just a one tab. So this one majorly is should, like if I write something, you can see it doesn't start from the end here. It is a tab. Yeah. So what we are going to write, it shows that we are writing inside of a function. It's like a container going to contain for us, going to contain for us something. Yeah, something like that. So I don't know where we have reached. If is there someone who have a question with the creating and creating functions in Python? Is there someone who have a question? Okay, if you don't have a question, then let me just continue. So let me know if can I continue? Just let me know if you want me to continue. Can I continue? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. Mm-hmm. So that's nice, Eric. Hope you can still see my screen. Okay. Now I'm having a main function. So I've initialized to be the what? The define function. So I'm going to prompt what do we need? So I'm creating a game. First of all, the what are we going to require? Like I've given you like this now the interface for my game. First of all, if you are a player, if you want to play this game, you either select for the option 1 to be for the single player, and if it is all option 2 to be the multiplayer. So you know that if you are a single player, you will play with the AI, and if you select option 2, then we are going to play you are going to play with your like your friend, your opponent. So we are going to I'm going to use I'm going to get input from the users. So like in Python is very easy, you just place input. So input is going to be what? So input, so I'm going to have a string there. So input, so I'm going to call it let me say enter. So let me have enter one for single player, then or two for multiplayer. So I'm entering, if it is option 1, I'm getting that enter 1 for single player or 2 for multiplayer. So that's perfect. So I have the input enter. So in any case we have prompt, we have run this our code. First option we are going to be asked that can you enter option 1? If you enter option 1, it will be for the single player. If you enter option 2, it's going to be what? Multiplayer. And you can see that this one I've written it in terms of what? In terms of string. It is a string format. And now let me initialize for it something like now this is the input. Now this input will be the choice of what? Will be the choice of the player. Will be the choice of a player who is playing this my game. This is my game. So I'm going to create for it what? A variable. So this is my variable I'm going to choose. Okay, let me call it choice, because so let me call it choice is equal to what? So choice is equal to it is equal to input. So I've just created for it what? A variable, and that variable is called what? Choice, to be the what? Input. So it's going to prompt the user to enter one or two, or one or two, because we have only two options, one or two. Then it's going to be stored inside this my variable, and it is called the what? The choice. But you can see what is being prompt for the user to use it, for the user to see it is going to like we are using the input is in form of string. So I needed to change it to read the integers. because there option one and option two are the only like arithmetic now. If I'm representing it now mathematically, I don't need to work with the strings. I need the only part which I'm interested with is one and what and two. These are the only part which I'm interested in. I'm not interested in the string. So basically I'm going to change this my function. Already we learned how we can change what, how we can change the, how we can change a string to integers, integers to various different types, data types in Python. We have boolean, we have strings, we have floats, we have we have what, which ones again, we have the integers, something like that. Okay, now I'm going to change choice. So this choice I'm going to change it as choice. So choice I'm going to change it to integers. Now I'm going to have integer of what, integer choice, and take note of the spelling error. So this one has been changed, and in any case I run the code, I execute the code, is going to be stored, is going to be stored inside here as a what, as a, that's perfect. So I've created a class, I've created a function, and this my function is main, and I'll prompt the user to enter either one or two depending which mode you want to play with. And after that, I've just changed the string to integers because I'm only interested in one or two. Fine. So up to that point, okay, up to that point, you will just if you have a question, then you can ask. If you don't have, I'll just proceed. So let me know from you guys, is there someone have a question, please? Is there someone have a question? Is there someone have a question, please? You can just unmute yourself and you ask a question. Okay, all of us are okay. Is everything okay with us? Is everything okay? Okay, let me see what you guys are saying here. Okay, is everything okay with us? Okay, fine. Perfect. Perfect. Now we can continue. Now we need to analyze. I'm going to have something like a board. So it's like a board. If you see how the structure of our game, let me draw it again. Let me draw it again for you. Let me draw it again for you. So I'm going to have a board, and this board, let me have my board is here. My board. So I'm having okay. So from the structure we drew last time. So let me take a case that I have x, I have 0 to be here, I have 0 there, and I have x here. So x will represent you as the player who's playing the game. So let's take a case that you have chosen the option one. So this x, I'm going to give it a 1. So I'm going to give this a 1. So let me represent it with a 1. And this 0 to be the AI, and I represent it by negative 1. So this is the arithmetic part of the arithmetic part of the code. We need to understand this arithmetic part of it. Like I can't represent 0 in my code there. So I need to give it a certain value that is negative 1 to represent 0. So this 0 will be for the AI, and x will be for you as the player who is playing against the AI. So here I have the 0, and what about the blank space? So for the blank space is I can represent it using I can represent it using 0. So that's perfectly okay. That's nice. Now let me undo this. Then I need to. Okay, I can just still do another one. So this is a board. So what I'm having here, is like a board. So this is my board. Where was I? I was writing my code here. So I have a board, and this board is going to contain what? So let's assume that we have a game state. We have a game state at zero. If nothing is happening, my board, it seems that everything is zero zero. If nothing is happening, so I have zero here, I have zero here, there's zero here, zero zero, I have zero here, zero zero zero. So how many zeros are this? There are 3, 6, 9. So we have 9 zeros. So in this state, which means our what game is like it is in naive space. Naive is in naive state. Let me call it like that. Is in naive state, which is in the normal state or normal state. You can call it as that, as in like that. So we have the normal, we have normal state. Perfectly. Now we have how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me have my board is at zero state. No, you have not, we have not started playing the game. So the normal state for my code is at zero. So my board. So let me have something like board. So I'm having board. I'm defining board. So I'm having board, and this my board is going to have a string of numbers. So like from this structure, we have things like containers, other programming languages like the JavaScript. We have something like a container. Container, it contains various elements inside it. A container contains various elements inside it. So according to Python, Python is more based on the data structure, and we are going to call it what? A list. So this my list, I'm going to call it a board, and it has to is going to have what? Array values. So let me have my real values. At the initial state, my board is at initial state, the normal state. It has how many zeros? This is what I've shown you here. It has 9 zeros. That is when it is in normal state. So let me represent them in what? In array form. So I'm going to have a bracket there. Then we have how many zeros? There are 9. So we have um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfectly. So we have 9. If my board is at initial state, we have 9. So now we need to understand this. I'm going to talk about something like, okay, already I did not introduce to you in this previously, but I can still just explain. It is the control structure. So we need to understand if we need to have certain operations. If an player have selected one, what is going to happen? If a player have selected two, what is going to happen? So this is where we are going to what? To code to play. So we are going to, like, now let's take a if my choice, because we were selecting the choice, if choice take note of the spelling. If choice is equal to 1, then what is going to happen? Something like that. So we are going to have something which is happening here at what? We are going to play what? Okay, someone can tell me this. If I selected 1, what is going to happen? If I selected 1, what is going to happen? Please let me know. If I selected 1, what is going to happen? In case I selected 1, what is going to happen? Uh-huh. Can someone tell me if I selected 1, what is going to happen? Perfect. Now we can. Someone who is with me, if I selected option 1, what is going to happen? Okay, Gideon.
Uh,
Yeah, we'll be playing against the AI. The AI. Okay, thank you. We'll be playing. Oh, kumbe people really fine. So Gideon will playing against the single player. Okay, Palash saying single player computer. Okay, fine. No, 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 no. So we are going to have. Okay, Okay, fine. Now we are going to play. So we have play against. So we have against AI. So this is it. So we are going to play against AI. What about if we select option two? So we have else. So we have else. So else we are going to play what? So let me just have something here. We are going to play now. Play with an opponent. So we are going to play against we are going to play against our opponent. Okay, fine. Now this is where we are going to base our part because we need to pass some of the values or some of the calculations. Um, we need to pass certain values here. Let me just push it a bit. So we are going to perform some of the calculation inside when someone have chosen one, and else it means twice. So we are only having two, like a control structure is like it controls the execution of a code. So I'm going to use if else. So which since I can believe if okay, I like. We have two options. I have tea and porridge, isn't it? Help me with the tea. Else, provide me with what? With porridge. So we have something like that. Control structure. That's why I'm using if else. So someone also is asking a very nice questions, and I like so much that question. Let me just comment this one here, then I answer you. Someone is asking that what about if I didn't wanted to waste lines, like I don't want to have a long programming lines there. So is it okay if I just change this one directly? Yes, I just have integer, then I place it inside here, and yeah, at the end. Sorry, yeah, at the end. Just there at the end also I have. Oh, there at the end we have a closing. Still is okay. It will still work. But because I'm understanding we have different people, like some we have still developers, so I don't need to have it there. I just need you to understand it from this end where we were just changing it directly. Yeah, just like this. So just understand it up to that point. So I've introduced a new concept here of the control structure in a point that if you chose one, then what's going to happen? So else, what is going to happen? Like today is hot, isn't it? Okay, option one today is if I have 15 degrees. If temperature is 15 degrees, then I'm going to print what? Cold. You see that? If or else it is hot, which means it is above 15. So that is it. So up to this point I still feel that there is no question. I just feel there is no question. So what am I going to do? I'm going to create another function. I need to analyze this my board very well. So let me help you analyzing this board. So I have like I was let me just represent for you this free function. So I was saying that I have zero. So let me remove. So I have zero, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have something like this. So I have yeah. Let me separate them for you. I have something like that. So this is like an array. So we have array. So we have array of these numbers. We have array. We have array here. So perfectly. Now let's take a case. Okay, fine. So let's take a case that I have x inside here. X is at position 5. So okay, this concept you are going to get it later. So don't worry about it. So I'm still taking you step by step. So I'm analyzing this my what? This my graphs. Let me draw it again for visibility. Let me draw it again. So I have so what do we know? Like what should we know if I want to analyze this my board? How will I know that someone have won, someone have met a draw, with someone have lost? So what am I going to do? For someone to win, you must have this one. Either you can win diagonally, you can win horizontally, you can win vertically. So three options can still work. But if you have the same value, so like I have this the first case. In first case here, you can win like going diagonally, you can win going like this, you can win, okay, you can win going vertically. But just let me show you what I mean. You can have zero here, zero, zero, and you can have zero here. So these are win because it is dialogue, diagonally. So we have another option. So we can have like x now. Let me have x here. I have another x here. I have another x here. So this one is what? Vertically, there's still win there. So that's it. Let me just remove this. So that is a win perfectly. So let me analyze. So I'm creating another function called what? Analyze board. So I'm having an analyze analyze board. Sorry, an analyze analyze board. I'm going to analyze my board. So I'm going to analyze the board. Take note of this pen. Okay, so I need to define it up here. So just let me just define it up there. So define okay, let me analyze this. Hey, this is the spelling of analyze board. So let me take it here. So I'm going to analyze the board. Yeah. So let me see. I don't know. There's someone who have raised their hand. Okay, Gideon. Let me Gideon. Yes, Gideon.
No,
Yes. You have not gotten how I'm defining the analyzing board. Okay, fine. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. So we have created the function, and this function is just going to prompt the user to enter whether option one or option two, and we have given it a control statement that in case the player to select one, what is going to happen? In case or else, what is going to happen? In that case, it's giving you that option two. We have only two options here, option one, option two. So that's why I'm using this control statement of if else. You see that? Then I need to pass something like I need to analyze my board first. I need to give this value some. That's why I'm still leaving them pending like that, because I need to give the what? I need to communicate to this if. I need to analyze my board first. Is when I pass my analysis to what? To the statement. The if else statement. So that's why I'm going to define another just for for increased visibility or for more understanding. I'm going to define another function like another container, now only containing what? Analysis of my board. That's why I'm writing it analyze board, and you can see I'm defining it is a def define analyze board. So I'm passing a what? An argument. You can see an argument there is board. So that board, let me underline it. Yeah, that is the board. That is board. So yeah, I already told you previously how to pass argument in parameters when I'm defining functions like that. So don't worry about that. I'm going to analyze. What am I going to analyze? This board here. This board which I have here. At this board, you can see it here. This is what I'm going to analyze. Initially, it has a zero state. Everything is at zero. So that is what I'm going to that is what I'm going to analyze. So here we are going to talk about like let me just we are going to talk about who won. This is just what I'm going to analyze there. So who won we are going to have at that point. Is there someone who still have a question? Let me see. Can 2D array work? Okay, Palash. Okay, this is what's happening. This is what's happening now. Okay, we need to a function. The best example, like let me say that you have someone have done for you something like okay, let's take a case that you have there's a stranger, like someone is disturbing your peace. You see that you need to call for help. Huh? You need to call for help. You need to call for help. So if that help have come, like let's take you have like even theft in your community, you need to call the policemen. You are calling them. So after calling them, then they are going to leave for you after really struggling with the thieves and the rest. Now if they are going back, they are going to give you a card. You can contact them after finishing. So that's why I'm going to define. I have two classes so far. So I have the word, the define, the analyze board, so and the main. So this one is like a function. So I want you to take I want you to understand this analyze board function in this way. In this situation, like you call a policeman. So we are calling it. So we call this function, and after that, after calling a function, it can't leave us blank. We are going to do what? It's going to give us a returning value. In this case, I'm going to return what? Zero. So I'm going to have return what? Return zero. You have something like that. So this is where I'm now going to pass what? All my arguments. My arguments I'm going to run, all my statements I'm going to run inside here. So yeah, later on in while we'll still be coding, we'll see if in case there's something we are going to add inside here, you'll see. But up to now, I've only called the function, so it's like I'm calling it, and it returns for me a zero value. I just want you to understand it up to that point. So have I answered you, or there's still clarification which you need?
Um,
Okay, perfectly. So today we won't take too much time. Today I just want you to go and sit down. You rewatch the video again. I think there is where we'll start. Okay, the weekend have been so much. Weekend have been so much fixed in that I the request which I was supposed to make for you guys, I did like okay, I was not in that position to get for you the speakers. Okay, but promisingly, weekends is the time where we normally they are available because due to work or due to activities they are available. So probably weekend, I think weekend we won't have too much I won't have too much activity. So that's where you will meet your the one of the instructor will guide you in some of the areas. So before I leave, in case there's someone who have a question, you can just ask. But before leaving, I must brief you what we are going to do next time. But before that, let me just do the recap. Let me just do the recap what we have done. Let me do for you a recap. So just for the recap, I've created a function called main. This function is going to perform operations like processes. First of all, it's going to prompt the user to enter the choices, either choice 1 or 2. And I've named that input function, I've given it a variable called choice. Because I'm interested with the integers, not the strings, I'm having what? I'm going to change the choice because choice is in form of string. I'm changing choice to integers. Then our game is in form of board. Hope you have seen what a board is. This is like a board. And at normal state, if nothing is happening, we have a board is 00. I told you that 00 it is an AI. So we have only AI state in a board in a board. Then later on, I introduced the if control statement. This control statement is if else. Why if else? Because I'm only having two options. That is option 1 and option 2. Option 1 for the single player, option 2 for the multiplayer with your opponent. So in case someone choose option 1, what is going to happen? It plays against AI. Else it plays against your opponent correctly. Before and after that, I need to analyze. I need to do some analysis in my board. Like if it is part for winning, like who will win? How can I know that? Who will lose? How can I know that? Who will how is draw can be made in this one? Like in a state someone have in a state that we have a draw. How can it happen? Something like that. So that's why I've decided to have another container going to contain those everything, which is called the analyze board. But you know that for a function to work, we need to call a function and we need to return a certain value of a function. So that is what we have discussed today. And you need to understand that Python, it works with the data structure. Where data structure, we don't call containers. Now we don't call them now function. We don't call them now like I have a container containing some of the elements. We don't call them like that. We now call them list. That's why you can see here I'm initializing a list and it has a what? An array of given, an array of numbers. You see something like that? Okay. Take time to go through what I've done here. Let me just take something here, check of something. Yes. Mhm. I'm in class. So I have something like that. So it's perfect. Now what we are going to discuss next time, I'm going to have now. Let me have something like this. So this one for the next class. Now I have 0, I have 1, I have 2. Fine. I have here, I have 1, I have 0, I have 1, and I have 2. Perfectly. Now jointly, in probability, we have something called joint. So we have joint. So at this point, we have the coordinate, like even in coordinate. So we have things like here 0, comma what, comma 0. Here we are going to have 1, comma 0. Here we are going to have 2, comma 0. Here I'm going to have what? 0, comma 1. Here I'm going to have 1, comma 1. So in this state, okay, there's something I'm going to tell you about. We have 1, comma 1, we have 0, comma 0, we have 2, comma 2. So we have here 2, comma 1. No big deal about this. I'm going to explain it. So here I have also 0, comma 2. I have here 1, comma 2. Okay, so I was explaining this part. So this maybe internet interacted before I explain for you this. This is the like something like a joint in those people who did the probability. This is the joint probability. And I told you that when we are dealing with the arrays, we need to understand the concept of indexing the array. I've stored array of list. Like we have something like array, it stores the data which of the same data type. So you need to understand the indexing part of it. We understand that in array, the number starts from 0, not 1. So you start from 0. So let me just give you the attendance sheet here before my internet being interrupted again. So and if you don't have a question, there's also YouTube live session there. There's a YouTube live session. You just need to come here. You like first of all, let me like you like, then you make a then you subscribe. If you have not subscribed, you subscribe it there. So let me get for you guys the attendance sheet. No connection again. Okay, we have a connection, and let me copy this. Make a copy. So today is day 6. We're all remaining with the 4 days. So day 6. And also there's those who want to be ambassadors for the Microsoft. You have to just apply because is open now. Just apply if you want to become ambassador in your institution. So yeah, I have attendance links there. Let me share it with you. So there's attendance form. You just sign it. It will automatically close after 5 minutes. So just hurry up. But in case you are facing a difficulty, like there's an error there you're facing, just refresh your browser and will be in a position for signing. Okay, this is just my portfolio, and yeah, this is the portfolio of mine. If you want to look at it, I'll send it there. You get in touch, more in touch to your instructor. Name is Chakora. So this is my portfolio file. So my class is over. If you have a question to ask, you can proceed. Is there someone who have a question? Let me know. I can see new members here today. Okay, let me end my class from this side. Then we have